I raised my stepdaughter for 20 years, but she chose her biological father. Now she wants my support, and I refuse to help. For over 2 decades, I built a life around my family, giving everything I had to ensure their happiness. My wife, Linda, and her daughter, Anna, were my entire world. When I met Linda, she was a single mother to a bright-eyed 5-year-old girl. She had been open about her past. Anna's biological father, Jason, had been unreliable, drifting in and out of their lives with empty promises and false hope. I never expected to replace him, but I also never thought I would end up as a footnote in my own family's story. From the moment I entered their lives, I made it my mission to be there for Anna. It took time, but gradually, I became the one she looked to for support, guidance, and love. I was there through scraped knees and late-night fevers, through school projects and graduation celebrations. Every, "I love you, Dad," she uttered, felt like the most meaningful recognition I could ever receive. I never sought to erase Jason, only to be the father Anna needed when he wasn't there. Jason, however, remained a distant figure. He would call on birthdays with grand gestures, promising summer vacations and extravagant gifts that never materialized. Anna, despite years of disappointment, still clung to the hope that one day he would be the father she imagined. And each time he disappeared, I was there to comfort her, reminding her that she was never alone. As Anna grew older, I continued to support her in every way I could. When she wanted to attend college in another state, I helped with tuition and even paid for her apartment. It wasn't easy financially, but I believed in her future. Jason, as expected, contributed nothing but words. He would send messages now and then, telling Anna how proud he was, but that was the extent of his involvement. I never complained. I was proud of her too, and I wanted nothing more than to see her succeed. When she graduated, I stood in the crowd, cheering louder than anyone. She ran to me afterward, tears in her eyes, and thanked me for everything I had done. In that moment, every sacrifice, every long night of worry, and every struggle felt worth it. She was my daughter, regardless of blood. Then came the wedding. Anna was engaged to her longtime boyfriend, David, and the wedding planning began almost immediately. She was ecstatic, talking endlessly about dresses, venues, and flowers. I offered to help financially, covering parts of the reception, her dress, and other expenses. I never thought twice about it. Supporting her was second nature to me. When the wedding invitations arrived, I opened mine with anticipation, expecting to see my name in a meaningful place. Instead, I was listed as just another guest. Worse, Jason had been given the honor of walking her down the aisle. I couldn't believe it. After everything, after years of being the one she could count on, she had chosen the man who had never been there. At first, I thought there had been a mistake. But when I asked her about it, she simply stated that Jason was her biological father, and that she had always dreamed of giving him this moment. That day, something inside me broke. I attended the wedding, though every moment felt like a deep betrayal. I sat quietly among the guests, watching Jason bask in the attention that should have been mine. During the speeches, I waited for some acknowledgement, some recognition of the role I had played in her life. None came. It was as if I had never existed. The following weeks were a blur. I kept my distance, retreating into myself as I tried to process everything. Then Anna called. She was back from her honeymoon, gushing about the beautiful beaches and romantic dinners. I listened silently, giving short responses, struggling to find any enthusiasm. Then, as I had begun to expect, the real reason for her call surfaced. She needed money. Unexpected expenses had come up during the honeymoon, and they were short on cash. Could I help? For the first time in my life, I said no. She hesitated, clearly not expecting my refusal. I told her she should ask Jason. After all, he was her real father. The silence on the line was deafening before she muttered, "I understand," and hung up. That was the last time I heard from her. Linda was furious. She accused me of abandoning Anna in her time of need, of being cruel. But it wasn't about the money. It was about the fact that when Anna had the chance to acknowledge everything I had done, she had chosen to ignore it. I was not her father when it mattered, only when it was convenient. Months passed, and I distanced myself further. Linda and I barely spoke. The divide between us grew larger with each passing day. Then, one evening, she brought up Anna again. Anna and David were struggling financially. David had lost his job, and they were falling behind on rent. She wanted me to help. I refused. Linda was livid. She accused me of being heartless, of punishing Anna for a single mistake. But it wasn't just one mistake. It was a lifetime of choices that led to this. Anna had chosen Jason when it mattered, so now she could turn to him in her time of need. Andrew reached out next, asking to meet. I knew what he wanted before he even said it, but I listened anyway. He was desperate, pleading for assistance. But when I asked if they had sought help from Jason, he admitted they hadn't. Jason was, as always, nowhere to be found. I told him no. That was the final straw. Anna and David cut me out completely. Linda, too, began treating me as a stranger in our own home. The silence between us became unbearable, and I realized that our marriage had become nothing more than an obligation. What I hadn't expected, though, was how quickly someone else entered my life. Sophie had been a friend of Linda's, someone who had always been around. But after the wedding, she began checking in on me, offering support when no one else did. At first I thought she was trying to help mend things between Linda and me, but as time went on, it became clear that she saw things differently. She saw me. One night after another long conversation, something changed. She took my hand and told me that I deserved happiness, that I had spent my life giving and never receiving. I hadn't planned what happened next, but as I leaned in, she didn't pull away. That night, I didn't go home. When Linda finally found out, it was explosive. She confronted me, demanding answers, but I had none that would satisfy her. She saw it as a betrayal, but in truth, I had already lost her long before that night. Emma walked in during the argument, already knowing the truth. She looked at me with disgust, telling me I had proven that I never really cared. That stung more than anything. I packed my things and left. The divorce was bitter and drawn out, but eventually it was over. Linda and Anna erased me from their lives completely, and I started over in a small apartment, alone but free. Through it all, Sophie remained by my side, the only person who truly understood what I had been through. One day, months later, I received a message from Anna. It was short, almost hesitant. "Dad, I know I hurt you. I know I failed you. But you will always be my father. I'm sorry. I know things will never be the same, but I will always love you." I didn't respond right away. The wounds were still too deep. Maybe one day we would find peace. But for now, I was moving forward, leaving the past behind. Life teaches you hard lessons, and one of the most painful is realizing that love, no matter how deep, isn't always enough to make people see your worth. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more stories like this.